Good evening, and welcome to 5 a Day with Jay. I'm your host, J.R. Murdock. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's get into it. 1. Free ebooks. Estelle, Billy Barbarian, still free today. It is Friday, September 24th. If it is past that date, you missed it. If you did miss it, drop me an email. More than happy to send you a free ebook. If you did miss it, thank you so much for going out there and grabbing a copy. We're doing great. I'm doing better than I expected with giving away the books. And it's all thanks to listeners, viewers, readers of the blog, everybody that went out and grabbed a copy. And if you grabbed a copy a long time ago and you're still with me, thank you for being here for so very long. I do appreciate it. I cannot stress that enough, how much my success is dependent on people like you helping me out. You're great people. Number two will lead into number 3. Number 2, it's raining. It just started to let up. It's been coming down for well over an hour, and I thought, you know what, might as well just hit record and go for it. It has been coming down really well. It has been just coming down like crazy, which is fun. It makes it for a fun evening, afternoon. The thunder and lightning was a surprise. I was sitting here and I was looking out the window and I'm staring up at the birds in the tree, and big jagged shot right across the sky, and I'm like, well, where'd that come from? Was not expecting. It had been slowly getting dark all day, slowly. So it wasn't a surprise that it started to rain. Thunder and lightning in Southern California is usually a surprise, and it's been thundering and lightning for over an hour now, and raining, which is good. Like I said, we need the rain. We really need the rain. I know my favorite daughter's out on the coast, and she was saying, hey, can you bring me this, that, or the other thing? And I'm like, no, I don't think you understand how much it's raining. And it's slowing down now, but I know it's supposed to pick back up. But closed up all the windows. Don't know if you can hear that, but yep, more thunder going on out there. It's interesting. Pup date, number 3, pup date. Normally number 2, but number 3 today. Pup date. Puppy got to experience rain for the first time. Oh my gosh, this was so hilarious. We got the patio, as I've mentioned before. And obviously, it's not raining under the patio cover. The puppy walked to the edge and could hear the rain. Walked to the edge and it started raining on her head, and she backed up and freaked out. I wish I had been recording this because it was so adorable. And then she jumped up into the flower bed where she normally does her business, and it's raining on the other side there. And she's like, wait, no, this isn't right. And then she sees a little puddle, and she sticks her head in it, and the water's hitting her in the back of the head. And she's like, oh my gosh, she's completely freaking out. And she's just romping around, jumping, playing, having a good old time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. So, of course, as kids or animals will do, by the time I got my phone out, hey, do something cute. So I got about 5 minutes of her just sitting there staring at me and then looking at the rain and looking back at me like, hey, I think it's time to go inside. So got a towel, dried her off, brought her back inside, cleaned her muddy paws. She had a great time. It was hilarious. Number 4, we were going to talk about binoculars today, but I am bypassing binoculars, although these ones, inexpensive little ones, they're interesting. I can see up close to the birds in the tree, but not super clear. They're adequate, but not great. We'll move on from there. We'll see what happens. What I wanted to talk to tonight, every Friday, and I don't always participate, there is a group video call within all the teams under my boss's boss. So there's about 25 of us, I think. And every Friday there's a group call, but we always have the group chat going associated with that call. We use MS Teams. Don't get me started on comparing chats and video programs and Zoom and all this other stuff. We use MS Teams. And I'm working and I can see the chat popping by, and somebody popped up something about a really bad movie. And I responded with, The reason I responded with what I did is because there's a post going on the Scott Sigler site that somebody started up about Velocipaster. When I was in high school, a group of us would get together and we would go to the video store and rent videos. Normally, really bad horror movies. Bad sci fi, bad horror, you name it, we probably watched it. And we would all bring a video. Usually 4 or 5 people would bring video, and we would just start picking, okay, let's watch this one, let's watch that one. I can't even remember half of the movies that we watched, but we watched so many movies. Oh, I think I remember what it was. It was Elvira Cassandra Peterson came out with her autobiography, and people were comparing her to Vampira, who was the original lady in the black dress hosting a scary movie TV show. Elvira came by, basically took the look, updated the look, made it a lot more campy, had a lot of fun with it, and made it her own for decades. And Vampira sued her, criticized her, claimed she stole her look, all that stuff. At any rate, Elvira would also do a lot of campy movies and cheesy horror flicks and whatnot. At any rate, in the 80s, we would watch these long before Mystery Science Theater 3000, MST3K. We were doing the same thing. We would watch a movie and we would just jab and rib and have a good old time, eat popcorn, drink Weiler's lemonade, laugh and have a good time. Might start up a Dungeons and Dragons game while the movie was going on. A lot happened during those times, and it was good fun. It was just having a good time. We carried that over into going and watching the Friday the 13th movies in the theaters. We would really do a lot of fun with it. But Velocipaster, the movie, if you haven't seen it, it's as bad as it sounds. And if you watch it, it'll be worse than you expect, which makes it so much more fun. And we started talking about other bad movies along that same vein, like Lavalantula and Lavalantula 2, Two Lava, Two Lantula, Big Ass Spider, all kinds of movies like that. And I'd seen all of these, Zombeaver, really bad, corny horror movies, and somebody threw one at me that I hadn't seen. Lamageddon. What? So I had to look that one up. I've got it marked on Prime as something I want to view. And I'm going to go have to track this one down. I don't know if I'm going to watch it tonight or if I'm going to watch it tomorrow, but I will definitely review it because I'm sure it is as awful as the title suggests. It's not in the same vein, I don't think, as Sharknado. Otherwise, there would be Llamageddon 2, and they would carry on with the llama puns. I'm prepared for a fun ride, a fun, stupid ride, I mean. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. But I remember those days back being a kid and having fun watching really bad movies. I've seen so many over the years. Like I said, it'd be hard to name even half of the ones that I've seen. Birdemic, Manos, The Hands of Fate, Deathbed. Like I said, if somebody brought up a bad movie, either I've already seen it or I heard about it and then I went and saw it at a later time. But again, through the 80s into the 90s, so many bad sci-fi and bad horror movies that it's hard to explain how many I've seen. That said, I enjoy a really good horror movie or a really good sci-fi movie, but there's just something about a good campy horror movie that doesn't take itself seriously, like Cabin in the Woods. That movie didn't take itself seriously, and it was ridiculous once you understood what the premise was. It was like, good job, guys. Good job. Yeah. You got that one right. A lot of fun can be had with a schlock movie. And I don't ever remember hearing that word until it was in the 80s, talking about schlock movie night. I do know that obviously other people must have had it and it just carried on. I don't even know who in the group started that term and started calling it that. I don't know if it was one of the dads that told us about it. Someday I'll have to go and research what the history of Schlock Movie Night is. But like I said, for us, it was a matter of gathering a bunch of going to the video store, and I'm not talking Blockbuster. I'm talking the local video store, because we're talking early to mid 80s in Durango, Colorado. There wasn't a Blockbuster. There were 3 or 4 different places to go rent movies from, and they were all independently owned. They would buy the movies and rent the movies out, and that's that was the business model. It wasn't like Blockbuster where they're buying the massive quantities of movies to rent out. So definitely it was interesting. It was educational to see how some of these stories developed and how poorly some of these stories developed. And sometimes we would just lose interest in the movie and nope, it's out of there. Throw another one in. Let's try the next one. And of course, if your movie was picked and tossed out, you were ridiculed and given a hard time because you brought a movie that wasn't worth even watching. Sometimes they were just so bad, they're unwatchable. Other times they were bad enough that you could poke fun at it, and enough things kept happening that was like, what exactly am I watching here? At any rate, I'm gonna go watch a fun movie. Probably sit down with the wife and see what we find on TV. She finished watching Nine Perfect Strangers yesterday. We got caught up with Big Brother last night. Oh, ho, 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 ho. I will talk about Big Brother next week because the finale's on Wednesday, I believe. Oh, there's an episode tonight. Yeah, I don't know if we'll watch that one tonight, because normally the tonight one is like, talking about everybody, the final 3 and whatnot. At any rate, it's been 5 Day with Jay. If you haven't gotten a free ebook, go grab one. If you missed any of the giveaways, drop me a note. Happy to send you one. If you are interested in the Heinlein Kickstarter, go hop on Kickstarter, search on Heinlein. You'll see my friend Dan Sawyer's Kickstarter out there for the Heinlein Juvenile Analysis. Excellent, excellent person, and I'm confident the book will be of the caliber you're expecting when you're talking about analyzing works of fiction. Some of his stretch goals are pretty awesome, like he will do an analysis of the adult Heinlein novels, which are the novels later in his career, which all kind of tied together and wove together. That his capstone was never completed on that whole series of novels. The capstone he was going to do, he wound up passing away before it got written. There are some contemporaneous notes, and someone has posted those, I believe, and Dan does review those. At any rate, go check out the Kickstarter. You won't be disappointed. Some great rewards. Not a lot of money for some really good stuff. Go check it out. It's been 5 Day with Jay. I'm going to go get some stuff done. I intended this morning to wake up. Sorry, I'm going to ramble for a minute longer. Didn't mean to give you that Lord of the Rings ending where 3 or 4 times I'm fading out. I honestly didn't mean to do that. Final thing. This morning I meant to get up and post or schedule all of the books that I'm pulling from Kindle Unlimited. I meant to go get all those up on all the different websites. I probably will be spending some time tonight doing that. Have a movie going on one side, on the other side, doing work. The reason I didn't this morning is because, again, the CMOS battery on the computer decided it was going to give up its life, and the computer did not start, so I had to replace the CMOS battery again. Once I did that, boom, everything came up just fine. I don't know if it was a bad battery, if it was a bad batch of batteries. Hopefully this one lasts longer than the last one. We shall find out. But anyway, I'm going to go get some work done, get all that stuff scheduled, get it ready to go. And I'll let you go. It's been 5 Days with Jay. I've been Jay. You've been awesome. Thank you.